Okay, our game of the week has been Ark of Charon. I have enjoyed some of it. If I am playing the demo, I'm not playing the game, which comes out in a couple days. I probably should have waited. So I struggled a little. Your tutorial are basically these items over here, which in concept, like from a strategic decision, like I don't have a problem with that as a structure. There wasn't enough for me, and I really found myself struggling. And I had some great viewers that helped me out. Thank you very much. But I struggled, to be honest, with just the whole, just knowing what to do and when to do it, and feeling like I had a strategy. But the concept here is you're on this living tree, which you don't really get the sense of right now. But basically, this rock carapace here, this picks up and moves. And when it does so, you get attacked by nasty things. And you have to kind of get to what you're going in as good a shape as possible. So that is a fun play cycle. Each of these involves a journey, each step along here, and these places offer different resources. I'm assuming, again, this is the demo, so it's not like I have an opportunity to do deep research as to where that's found, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly found underground. Now, some of them indicate food, so I'm assuming there will be, like we see here, fruit trees and that sort of thing. One of the things I struggled with, not struggled with really, but just found it like a nuisance, is that you have to build ladders, otherwise your people don't come out from underground. And those ladders can later break if you get yourself caught in a storm. Just wasn't a super fun element to what we were doing. Anyway, so let's go ahead and build ourselves a structure here. Now you have to build ladders here as well. Honestly, I could have done without the ladder mechanic. Like if every structure, I say that, now I'm questioning it because I think it gives it more strategy in the build space. So I'm going to retract that comment and say ladder's good. But I did struggle. You do also have to build like defensive. Basically, all you have initially are the ballista. I say defensive. They're classified here as offensive. Defensive would be things like a wooden barricade. Now, so far in the demo, again, it's just the demo, you haven't seen land attacks. Honestly, I'm not sure how that would work because you're in a giant tree moving, and I don't know that a land attack even makes sense, which makes a wooden barricade seem weird, but I think it's mostly defense for your ballista. Anywho, that's a general concept, is you have to get across here, and full disclosure, I haven't made it. I found the game challenging to understand. Now, am I a good enough gamer to have made it if I had understood? Debate. Here's a great example of like where I need to build a ladder. Okay, didn't go down far enough, gotta fill in some spots there. Like, just like, let's just assume not deal with that. Maybe you don't need the ladders underground would be a good solution. I do understand the strategic element of putting them above ground. So, and I'm gonna say that's a positive thing. I like decisions like that. Like, are you putting it on this side because it's protected from the bad guys coming from the right? In the demo, the bad guys always come from the right. I don't know that will be the case in the full game, which again comes out in a couple days. So that's kind of cool. All right, so you have these little golems that you control, and they're good at different things. So these purple ones are. Oh no, I thought maybe they were always the same influence. Their influence helps determine what they're good at. So this one's good at farming and harvesting, this one's good at movement speed, and this one's good at mining. So what you can do is set your priorities and say, okay, this one's good at mining, let's make that our miner. Like, that's what they do, they mine. This one was sort of generic because it was beast influence is movement speed, so moving in general is good. So maybe having that one distribute things around is good. And then insect is farming and harvesting. So I can go in here and say, okay, first guy, you're my farmer and my harvester. You do that. That's your priority. You mine. You kind of want someone mining all the time. It's a huge part of the game, is because that's where your raw materials come from. You can kind of see over here the list of items that you have. So I found the game very cute. I found the game challenging, which, you know, good or bad, that's up to you. I think for me the challenge was it was that the challenge wasn't necessarily coming from the gameplay, but from the understanding. Now, it is a demo, so, you know, I can kind of understand why, you know, it might be better if I had waited another week or two. I have to decide whether I want to keep doing demos or not, but it's a very pretty game. It's a very cute game. There is, you know, battles, but it's not a violent game in any way. It's more arcade-ish style battles. So yeah, it's got potential, and we'll see where it comes in at in a couple of days. I like all the little animations. Yeah, I got sucked in at one point. You can build like a little torch to light up the ground. And I got sucked into just looking at the torch on different speeds. Like, that was weirdly fun. So it's a very nice, cute little game. Replayability, I think the fact that it's challenging will give it some replayability. Not maybe quite there with something like, you know, I think it advertises a roguelike. Maybe not the same kind of replayability as something like Slay the Spire. There's a lot of small things to do, like setting up different zones, like, hey, why don't we do some farming in this zone? And then once you've set it up as a farming zone, you kind of got to go in and then say, okay, what crops do we want on that zone? So there's lots of little things to do. Gotta go play like something like Stardew Valley sometime and see if it's influenced by that. So there's plenty to keep you busy. In a, you know, constructive building. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm micromanaging. Like, I don't feel like there's too much that way. It's just really kind of understanding, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And you know, I think of a game like StarCraft 2 where you're like, okay, I'm playing the Protoss, this is my build order. Like, you come into the game with a strategy. I don't know what that strategy is yet. You know, and how heavily it's influenced by things that you find in the ground, or like, I'm going with a defense build, I'm going with a mining build. Like, is that a thing? I don't know. I haven't played it enough to get a sense for that. I feel like you could build some pretty cool structures, because if you look in the technology tree, there are some kind of cool things that you can build later on. You know, like I like the look of this game a lot. And I didn't get into, like, I never had like machine guns. Like, that could be kind of cool. There could be variation, you know, when we get past the demo, when I get further up in level, there could be, I know that there's some variation in the attackers, but, you know, they don't feel wildly different. You know, it's like, oh, a flying guy shooting, oh, flying guy with more hit points shooting, you know, that kind of thing. But again, I didn't get very far. Struggled with understanding the game. So you got your different speeds over here. I have it set on slow. I don't know why, since we're just kind of goofing around here. Ironically, I seem to be doing just as good goofing around as I did when I was intentionally playing it. Probably says more about me than the game. Anyway, I thought the user interface, you know, I lacked the knowledge of when to do things. Like, I had some guys set for repair, very high repair focus, right? But you have to actually click on every little thing you want to repair. They won't just go around and repair stuff. That feels like a little micromanaging-y. Yeah, look at this flame going to town down here. You know, decent little animations. I find that an attractive art style. So, you know, they like these openings down here. Is that meaningful? I mean, I guess in the sense that maybe you can kind of see what type of soil's down there. I could see myself revisiting this game once it's in full release. I haven't done that yet. Gone and played a demo and then gone and played the full release. So that could be interesting. Anywho, so who's this game for? Someone who likes kind of that city building style game with a little bit of defense. There have been some of those. It's a space that I don't know the best of. If you know the best of in the city building defense space, let me know. There's games like They Are Billions, which is phenomenal. If you haven't played that, go play that if you want to fight off some zombies. But it doesn't really have the build a city mechanic. I mean, you build a city, but it's basically building defensive city more so than building a cool, cute city that you can be proud of. So I'm curious where it will be in a few days. Now, I've got some things coming up here. I'm not going to get to this game till we get past Gen Con, to be honest. So that's early August. So replayability, I think it will be a good game that you'll enjoy playing for a while. I think it's a 100-hour game where you could put 100 hours into this and really enjoy it. There's one game that in its last iteration I put 10,000 hours in. I don't think it's that kind of game. I'm not sure how many hours I have in Slay the Spire, but it's a lot. I don't think it's quite at that level. It's probably worth the money. We'll see what it sells for when it comes out. But if you picked it up on sale, yeah, fun little game. It's a summer sale right now. It's probably on sale. So anyway, in terms of rating, so here's my rating. S is like, I haven't given an S yet. It's for games that change or introduce a genre to gaming. This doesn't feel like that at all. A and B is for games that I look forward to coming back and playing. And then C and D is for games that maybe didn't resonate with me, but I could see somebody wanting to play them. And F is if it just doesn't work. For me, this is probably a C, and it reminds, the other game I gave a C to earlier was Tamarack Trail. It reminds me a little of that, where for me, it's just like not quite there. I'm not getting sucked into it, but it's good production. I could see somebody really enjoying this game, maybe just not me. And I wouldn't be sad. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to go play Ark of Charon again. I wouldn't be weeping. But it's probably not one that I'm going to be like, oh, I really missed that. Like Hexarchy is a game that I played. It might have been my first game of the week, and I've just kind of been itching to get back to that one, to be honest. It's a little Civilization light style game that you can play in an hour. I'm gonna have to introduce like a treat yourself week where I go back and play the games that I really enjoyed. Cosmoteer would be on that list, but this probably not. Like, if treat yourself, I don't think Ark of Charon is probably one I'm picking up. So I'm gonna give it a C, which would be a good game, but not for me. Just didn't hit me hard. This is usually what I say what my next game of the week will be. I've kind of already started one when I was really struggling with this game before the users came to before the viewers came to the rescue and explained how to play. I was really, really struggling. So I think I'm going to go finish up that game. It's either Chaos Cube or Cube Chaos. I think it's Cube Chaos. I've done one episode. I think there's enough there to make it a game of the week, and I want to go back and finish that. Plus, I'm a little short on time. So I think we're going to do that. Cube Chaos, very different than this. But, that's the joy, right? That's the whole point of a game a week, is you get to see all these different genres that maybe you wouldn't normally play. I remember Luton introduced me to the idle genre, idle games, and just the description, idle games where you don't actively play them. What's the point? Man, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. That could be a treat yourself kind of game. All right. So we're going to give this a C, and we're going to go play Cube Chaos for another week. Now I say a week. I mostly game on the weekends because I have a day job. So once in a while I can sneak away for a week evening if my wife's doing something. But yeah, that's Ark of Charon. I could see how someone would really enjoy it. I really like the art style. Music has been unobtrusive, is I think how I would describe it. It's there, it's nice, but it's not, I'm not like out ordering the soundtrack. What I really need is more tutorial stuff. Like without the viewers' comments, I would have been totally lost. Go check out episode 2. You don't even have to watch it. I prefer it if you do, but if you don't have to, just go read the comments. I printed it out. It was a full page. I put it in Word, normal size font, nothing fancy, nothing big. Filled the page. Like without that, I would have been lost. So, yeah. Anyway, if you play this game, hope you enjoy it. Can't wait to see it come out in a couple of days, even though I won't see it for another month. And yeah, looking forward to Cube Chaos. I'm a couple levels into that, and then it's one like it's a little like this where I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I seem to be enjoying not knowing what I'm doing a little more. So, all right. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. They all help. All are very much appreciated. And yeah, go enjoy your life. Talk to you later.